Welcome back to another episode of what's cracking in cryptocurrency. The frauds, the fails, the schemes, what's going on generally over the last few days. As usual, we're on Web3 is going great. Great website. Leave a link in the video description. And we're going to start off with OXSifu. Now, OXSifu is somebody that I've seen on Twitter quite a lot, and he spawned the meme. Well, people spawned the meme. Your funds are Seifu with Sifu, which of course... Your funds weren't Seifu with Sifu because your funds was taken by Sifu most likely. Or at the very least, he managed to get a large sum of money, push it through Tornado Cash, which I'm not sure why you would be doing that, unless there was something weird going on, and essentially continue to just make millions and millions in cryptocurrency, while also being somebody who's been knowingly involved with multiple different financial crimes. As you can read here, OXSifu, also known as Michael Petrine, also known as Omar Dahani, is the once synonymous chief developer of the Wonderland protocol. My mind's a bit fuzzy because I followed the Wonderland protocol. It had something to do with all the stuff I was doing at the time. I thought this dude was involved with the treasury. It was basically like the idea behind Wonderland, correct me if I'm wrong. People put money in to buy the Wonderland token, and then essentially the money was locked up in staking, which essentially means that you'd get a return back on what you put in. And they had a treasury of funds, and then the treasury of funds was used to invest in other cryptocurrencies. It was basically somewhat of a hedge fund for the community, and I think he was in charge of doing the investments and stuff. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember exactly. But either way, Zach XBT, which if ever you've got a thread on you from Zach XBT, you've known you've fucked up, revealed that OXSifu was Petrine, a man with a history of financial crimes who was previously involved with Quadriga CX, an exchange which lost over $150 million in customer funds in 2018. Now, if somebody outing your existence causes the entire project to collapse because you've been involved in multiple examples of financial crimes previously, allegedly, of course, that's probably not great. And if you've got multiple names that you go by, I've got to ask, why is that? There's obviously something there. And this dude's got a very interesting few articles written about him on the internet. But it seems like this time he is the victim. What goes around comes around in cryptocurrency if you're around it long enough. Today, Sifu himself was the victim of a theft as a bug in the SushiSwap decentralized exchange allowed a hacker to make off with around 1,800 ETH, more than $3.3 million belonging to him. According to SushiSwap leader Jared Gray, around 300 ETH, $557,000 of Sifu's funds were subsequently recovered. Analysts have found that almost 200 addresses on the Ethereum network have approved the vulnerable contract, and around 2,000 addresses approved the vulnerability contract on Arbitrum, Polygon, and other chains. It's not yet clear how much was stolen in total. SushiSwap leader Gray urged users via Twitter to revoke approval for the vulnerable smart contract. So I love thousands of people losing money to a vulnerable contract. Personally, one of my favorites. Code is law. Love it. And then, of course, we get to the monkey JPEG. It wouldn't be a day on Web3 is going great without a monkey JPEG story. Trader loses 14,377 ape token, which is worth $61,000, when they sell their Bored Ape. Well, that's what you get for leaving Ape Gang. If you weren't a paper hands motherfucker leaving Ape Gang with your number 7, 8, 10 ape, which is obviously a fine looking ape, who would ever sell an ape like this? I mean, look at the shirt. You wouldn't catch me dead selling a monkey JPEG like this one. You obviously deserve to lose this money because you're no longer part of Bored Ape's, illustrious community. So the former owner of Ape 7810 presumably intended to agree to sell the ape to another buyer for 70 ETH, $130,000. However, it's unlikely they intended for that buyer to also be able to access the staked ape that they had accrued. With this particular staking mechanism, the Bored Ape effectively serves as the key to the staked ape coin, and so it transferred to the NFT's new owner right along with the NFT. I mean, this is obviously just working as intended. This dude got a bargain. I mean, then again, he bought a Bored Ape for 130 grand, but if you can just turn around and sell that again for 130 grand, then he just got a 61 grand profit on top of it, and it's all fine, working as intended. Then, of course, we've got another hack. Terraport Finance hacked for $2 million less than 2 weeks after launch. So, good launch then. Terraport Finance is a decentralized finance project built on, believe it or not, the Terra blockchain. People are still using this. Yes, the same Terra blockchain on which the Terra Luna projects were built. Amazing. Despite the massive collapse of the flagship project in May 2022, there are still a number of Terra projects operating and even some new projects being developed. Yeah, I can't imagine that being a bad idea. Oh, what blockchain are you on? Oh, the one that lost everyone the money and the founders just vanished and has their whereabouts currently unknown and probably at some point are going to get indicted. Yeah, just using that one course. Terraport Finance launched on March 31st, apparently having gone live without any sort of audit. Fantastic. On April 10th, Terraport disclosed that an attacker had apparently, attacker here, that had managed to drain all project liquidity pools, making off with assets priced at around $2 million. I don't know how many more of these I can read and believe that it's a sophisticated attack every time, and not just an insider job, allegedly, in Minecraft. GDAC exchange hacked for assets notionally worth more than $14 million. So 2 hacks on the same day, 16 mil total. It's a slow day on April 10th for cryptocurrency. Only 16 mil of hacks. Hackers made off with 61 Bitcoin, 350.5 ETH, 10 million WeMix, and $220,000 USDT from a hot wallet belonging to the South Korean crypto exchange JPeg. Altogether, the assets are notionally worth around 14.5 million, although the ability of the attackers to cash out that quantity of WeMix tokens at their listed value remains to be seen. The stolen assets represent a 23% of funds custodied on the JPeg exchange. JPeg halted deposits and withdrawals shortly after the attack and stated that they had reported the exploit to South Korean law enforcement to investigate. And the investigation, of course, concluded with, it's just cryptocurrency, baby, as usual. Like how much government resources across the planet is being used to track down crypto theft and fraud and these scams and schemes and all this other stuff. Just real quick, let's take a look at the wrecked database. How much has been stolen so far? $76.5 billion stolen or just lost. Of course, as we see there, Terra, Luna, 40 bill. Good old bit of 40 bill lost. Oh, they've even got a wrecked of the month. So this is on here. There's 200 mil, 26 mil, 14 mil. They're the top 3. Okay, it's the last 30 days, so that's not as bad. And this one got returned. We covered this on the previous video. This 200 mil got returned, minus a little bit that the person who stole it was like trolling and sending it to wallets that are associated with North Korean government and all the hacks that they've pulled off over the last couple of years. But if you look at how much has been recovered, stolen 76 billion, recovered 6.6. And I read recently, because I was going through some Silk Road stuff, the government plans to sell off like another massive sum of Bitcoin over the next year or so that they gained from Silk Road. Because obviously what the government did when they took down Silk Road was take all the Bitcoin, because there was a ton of Bitcoin recovered with the platform and, of course, with Dread Pirate Roberts himself. And then, of course, there was some with the government agents that were working with DPR. But yeah, there we go. That's cryptocurrency for the last couple of days. How many days was it this time? How many days? This is obviously not even all the stories, because there's way more you see on Twitter that aren't on here. But there we go. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.